Look who's back in Italy.
Hi.
Buongiorno.
We just had a delicious tomato and we're off for a swim because it's a little bit hot and sticky.
It's very humid, but the sea is not far away.
Where's the rest of the family? There they are.
Hello, how has your week been? We are still in a heat wave in Italy, but our vegetable garden is thriving. We've gradually weaned our youngest child, Raffaello, off breastfeeding, which was very intense. I'm so fortunate to have had no problems breastfeeding both of my children. However, this past week I've had such pain as my milk supply adjusts after a year and a half of feeding night and day nonstop. I did it very gradually, but anytime my body hears Raffaello cry, it makes milk, which is like some kind of beautiful magic that the female body has this connection. However, it is so uncomfortable for me when there is no relief of feeding. The only natural remedy is to put cold cabbage leaves on my chest, and we happen to grow cabbages, so this is how I've been living the past week. While I sleep, while I do workouts, I have a coleslaw salad basically stuffed in my bra at all times.
Such relief, such relief. And this cabbage is actually from our garden. It wasn't like this with Gianfranco. It's just, I've been feeding so much for almost 19 months now. So it has been a big commitment, but I'm so glad I did it. Although now, this is quite painful.
I thought I would make stuffed zucchini flowers for you today. They're such a wonderful appetizer or lovely with a glass of wine at aperitivo. Traditionally, they're usually fried in batter, but I tend not to fry things. It's too hot and unhealthy. Plus, I like retaining a lot of the flavor and texture of the flower, so I'm just going to bake them lightly. Flowers, quite sensibly, close up in the mid-morning when the sun warms the garden, so they need to be picked quite early in the morning while they're still open.
Now what we want to do is just make sure there are no animals inside, and there are lots of animals inside here. And also take out the stamen. So this one here and also this one, these are the male flowers, whereas this is the female flower that has the La Zucchina attached to it, and you need both to pollinate, but and look at all these ants. I don't know how I'm going to have to get these off without, oh my gosh, okay, how do I get these ants off without destroying this delicate petal? Okay, let's make this filling for our zucchini flowers. The flowers themselves I have just put in the fridge because I feel like this heat is just a little bit too much for them at the moment, and I want them to stay as fresh as possible. And you know what we're missing is a lemon, so lovely. And the basil I want just to chop quite fine because, you know, when you're getting a little mouthful, you don't want a whole leaf, you just want very fine little threads of this sweet basil, which, oh my gosh, as soon as you pick it, the scent is so strong. This is a rare moment that I am alone at the house because Gianfranco went with my parents and my sister out to a cafe to have a coffee and cornetto. And Guido went to the hardware store to buy some things for the garden, and he took Raffaello. So I am just here, just me and the cicadas. And you may have had it with mozzarella, you may have had it with mozzarella and anchovies, you may have had it with just ricotta. I've got ricotta and mozzarella. I'm going to do a mix because I want the mozzarella to sort of give that lovely melted stringy cheesiness, and the ricotta makes it nice and dense. You want the filling to be quite dense so it kind of doesn't just all spill out onto the baking tray. You know, you kind of want it to stay compact. And then I'll add just a little bit of parmesan for just some more saltiness, and of course the main saltiness will come from our anchovies, which is quite traditional to put an anchovy inside, and it's such a lovely pairing with the creamy ricotta and the salty anchovy. Then I have some basil, which I've finely sliced, and then I have my sourdough here because what I'm going to do before I put them in the oven is just blend up a slice of sourdough, and the breadcrumbs on top will create that bit of texture and give the oven something to make nice and golden and crunchy on top, which I think will be quite nice because, you know, they don't go, when you're baking them, they don't go as crispy as they would obviously when you're frying them. And so it's nice to, in that kind of oozy, cheesy, soft little package, it's nice to have a little bit of crunchy breadcrumbs on top and perhaps a little bit of extra parmesan as well. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and also some black pepper. So I do love recipes like this where you can kind of just add without measuring anything, and you don't need to be so precise. And it's kind of the essence of Italian cooking, I feel like. It's really just using your instinct and not weighing things meticulously. If you taste it before you put it in and it needs more tang, you add some more lemon. Needs more salt, add some more parmesan. The mozzarella I'm just cutting up into little pieces so that it distributes through the ricotta. Oh, lovely. Basil. Let's add a little bit more mozzarella. Okay. Oh, look at that. It actually makes me want to make like ravioli or something. I'll just add a little bit more pepper. Remember when I was living in Rome, you know, they would often serve them just with a whole anchovy, long anchovy in there. But because I have flowers of quite different sizes, I'm not sure how that will go. So I'm just wanting to mix it all through, and I'll hopefully distribute all the saltiness. Oh my gosh, the smells! Lemon, basil, anchovies. Oh, just delicious. Okay, now we were going to add a little bit of salt, just a pinch. Let's just taste a little bit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is so delicious. Oh, it's so fresh. It's actually, on this hot, sweaty day, it's exactly the flavors that I want. I want the saltiness of the sea and that freshness of basil and lemon. Oh, and then the ricotta. Ricotta is just, even though it's creamy, it doesn't weigh you down, you know, it's still got that lightness. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm going to put it in this bag. goodness. That is incredible. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with that.
Every year when the metitrebbia, or the combine harvester, does our fields, we have taken Gianfranco for a ride, and this year Guido had both Raffaello and Gianfranco, to their utter delight. While we were down by the vineyards, we stopped to pick wild blackberries. Basically, Raffaello just stood there with his mouth open saying ancora, ancora, which means more, more, while Gianfranco ran back and forth from the bushes, filling his little brother's mouth with sweet, warm berries.
Vieni, te mi aiuti col cestino, io le raccolgo e sono più alto, va bene?
Ah.
Va bene, Mupi?
Bravissimo.
Io raccolgo una. Questo che non arriva.
Froggy frogs?
Hello.
And that's it. We had my zucchini flowers for an aperitivo, and then I made a zucchini, almond, basil, and parmesan pesto. And I thank you all for getting to this point in the video. Thank you to my patrons, as always. I hope you'll come back next weekend for another episode. Alla prossima.